Hello, my internet friends. Welcome to the Rigel Show. We are streaming to you live from my Earth Dome here in Austin, Texas, right in my backyard. This space I built with my own bare hands, dug a hole in the ground, filled some bags with dirt, stacked them on top of each other, and I have like a little fort that I get to work out of. This space is also known as my mystical driftwood fort, yes, fort, on the sandy beach of the cosmic navel, where song runs through all of reality. Just get in the mood here. This space is a playful Theotokian riparian zone. If you don't know what Theotokian means, I'll tell you. It means Mother of God. Theotokos is Mother of God. We honor Mother, the Mother here, and we honor women in this space. We are a Theotokian riparian zone that seeks to integrate traditional values, modern values, progressive postmodern values, and that which is emerging on the bleeding edge of the evolution of culture and consciousness, postmodern values, the negation of the negation, okay? You all have a place at my table. And feel free to join me in here. I dropped a link in the chat, so say hello if you're out there, so I can call you out and electronically bring you into this groundless ground. This is where opposites interpenetrate and merge, like salt water and fresh water, finding harmony in a musical estuary. Walt Whitman says, "I contain multitudes." This is where contradictions can play together and discover we need each other. We need our opposites to live. The communal and the private. The outdoor room that opens to the sky and the covered porch that opens to the street. We are alcoves, wild and tame. We are all things to all people so that some might be whole again. As I remember the parts I have been hiding, I start to see the image of God appearing in you, in my neighbor, my enemy, the person I adore and the person that I don't like. So I'm going to enter the cosmic navel. I already see Terry is out there. Nice to see you, Terry. Just testing. Feel free to drop a little note in the chat. I'm going to enter the cosmic navel through a little piano improvisation, something I've done frequently in the past. I'm just going to kind of close my eyes for a sec and see what pops up, if there's anything in there. And I'm going to give myself a 5-minute timer so that you know that I know there is an endpoint here. Oh, I see Luke out there. Whitestone name. The true name. Luke, nice to see your face. So we're just going to get started. I'm going to set my timer here, and then feel free to click that link to join in, pop in for a little bit. You could share something, an idea, an interpretive dance. This is kind of flex flow space. All right, here we go. Entering the cosmic navel now. Oh, I got to bring my fingers to the screen. What was I thinking? Okay, there's my fingers. We're just going to start up here. Closing my eyes now. Let me know if you can hear the piano. All right. That was my timer. Kind of worked out perfect. Dan, what's happening? Dan Heasy. Nice to see you. All right. The link has been dropped. It is now time for you all to come join me here so that I have someone to talk to. Because I don't have like just 30-minute monologues that I can just go on about. But I do have some announcements. So I will start making announcements, and when I get done with my announcements, it's going to be into a new era of life. Okay, so first announcement. We started the Austin, Texas estuary last month. Had a great first session, and our next session is November 20th. So if you are in the area and want to join, I would love to have you. Terry! Oh my gosh, so good to see you. I'm going to take my fingers off the screen. Oh, wait. Oh, I took you off the screen. No, you're coming back. All right, Terry, I'm sorry. Nice to see you.
Hi, Rigel. I loved your opening.
Thank you. I feel I kind of loved it too. It took me a minute to find my groove, but I feel like I could have kept going for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I really, everything you say just feels so home to me. And then the piano made me think, oh, I want to hear the introduction over the music. So someday I want you to set that introduction to music.
Ooh. I actually take my fingers out of your mouth. Luke, you might have to get on here and explain what you're talking about. Terry, I actually had that thought. Have you run across Martin Shaw? Oh, wait, you were at Southeastuary.
Yes.
Were you at Southeastuary?
No, I wasn't. I was
okay.
At Midwestuary, but I know of him, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he does this thing where he does, he's like a professional storyteller, and he combines instruments, rhythm in his storytelling, which just feels that could be very natural, I think, for me. So part of doing this whole live stream is just figuring out the tech, but I could see getting some sort of rhythmic, repetitive pattern going while I say my little piece, my intro piece. Okay, so Terry, what's bubbling up for you these days?
Well, I came because I wanted to tell you about my first experience at an Orthodox service last Sunday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
However, in the moment that kind of got usurped for a minute by something in your intro, you had, I don't remember what your reference was to the stars. Did you say the net of stars or something like that?
What did I say? I said mystical driftwood foot on the sandy beach of cosmic navel.
There we
space. Go. Oh, yeah, the mystical driftwood fort on the sandy beach of the cosmic navel.
Yes. So I was enchanted last year with Martin Prechtel, the shamanic guy from Middle America, and he tells the legend of his people that when you die, your soul enters a canoe to cross time and space. It takes a long time to get there, and you arrive at the beach of stars.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I feel like that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yes, that's the hit that I got.
Oh my gosh.
And
Joy. Sorry, I just want to say, Joy, so good to see you. You absolutely are welcome to join. Please join. Sherry, welcome.
Hello.
Amazing. This is wonderful. Oh, Moses. Good
Hello.
to see you, my friend.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Oh man, we've got a little crew here. Okay, so we got Joy, we've got Moses, we've got Sherry, we've got Terry. Um, Sherry, hello. What's bubbling up for you?
Just came in from feeding my horse.
Okay.
I got a bit of a echo.
Oh, is that there's some loud noise
That
happening
might
on
be
somebody's channel?
that might be me. I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, just mute yourself while you're listening, and then
Yeah.
come on.
I'm still kind of reeling from the live stream last night. It was so much fun that I had with my sister. So
Ron, we've got like a full crew here. Yeah, Sherry, I was just catching up on that this morning. I think I got 40 minutes in and I was blown away. It was really fun to hear you and your sister.
It takes a really crazy turn. Yeah, it was just all around great. I think Joy was there. You were there, eh, Joy? Yeah.
Joy, hello. What's happening with you? Introduce yourself. I think this is the first time on my channel.
Yeah. This is
Where are you calling in from and what's bubbling up for you?
calling in from Alexandria, Virginia, just a ways away from Terry. And I'll be cat sitting 4 of my godfather's cats for the next week.
Nice.
And yes, this is a very new chapter for me in life. Terry and I actually went to the service together on Sunday.
With Jonathan, I heard.
Yes.
He told me.
Yes, with Jonathan and a few other folks in the area. I tune into these streams often, or watch the replay, but it's a pleasure to be able to join today.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's great to have you.
And Joy, how did you find this stream in the first place?
Months back at this point. It was, I believe you were in the comments at one point, Rigel. That's when I first caught wind of you. And then I opened up your channel and realized that there was this cosmos and that I was being initiated into sort of another mode in this space in the corner. So that's how I encountered initially you. And we met at Midwestuary in Chicago.
Yes.
Very briefly. Not very briefly, but we had the opportunity to sit on, alongside one another. And that was...
There's nothing brief about entering into the eternal present of the cosmic navel, Joy. And you were all in. So
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Moses, tell me where you're calling in from and how did you find this space?
I am calling in from. I don't even know how to answer that one. I can answer how I found this space. I think I found you on YouTube forever ago. And to give a better context, I know Rigel through church, but he came up on as a suggestion. I'm like, oh, okay, click. And didn't think anything of it. And then I saw that he, semi-regularly posts on here. And then I had seen you do some live streams before, but I was like, shoot, I'm at work. I can't click this now. And I saw a day off, and I saw you were streaming. I'm like, I got to check this out, see what it is.
Yeah. Just to kind of complete the context, Moses is also the drummer in the unofficial St. John's Family Band jam band.
Yes.
So we have played music together, and he's actually been here in the Earth Dome that I'm sitting in. So,
yes, sir.
Wow. Moses, I think you're the closest person to me who's actually shown up in this space.
Probably. I wouldn't know where to compare it to.
All right. Before I want to hear more about your story, Terry, but I also want to welcome Ron, Mega Ron, to the stage.
Mega Ron.
Ron, where are you calling in from in this cosmos? And What's kind of bubbling up for you?
Muncie, Indiana, Ball State University. I just took off work early because I am celebrating Friday, and I have enough PTO to go. I'm out.
Oh, good for
So,
you.
and on my way to Mexican, and I wanted to see what's in the navel. And, and what is in my mind is Madame, I'll botch the name, Jean Guillaume. Does she ring any bells? 1700 lady, kind of like the practice of the presence of God, like Brother Lawrence. I've been chewing on that book. And really, it's about prayer. Presence of God, He loves you. You're loved. Deal with it. That kind of.
Are there specific practices in that book that are like practical?
Oh yeah, the entire book is very practical for a spiritual walk. It gives, yes, very practical, very nuts and bolts, but it also gives you a big enough field where you don't feel constrained. It's enough to. It's a good primer, and it helps in the fundamentals of prayer. And
Yeah. I feel like I read this like years and years ago. And it was kind of my. I don't know if this was actually the same book that I'm thinking of, but I'll have to look into it. But it was kind of my first approach to. Sorry, someone's got a lot of noise going on. Is that you, Ron? Can you mute yourself? I think that's better. Sorry, I'm like so easily distracted. I can't even speak when there's like background music on. Can't speak. I'm very sensitive, you guys. That's very cool. I think that was my first intro to like contemplative prayer. So very cool. Well, Terry, I want to hear about your first experience of an Orthodox church. 'Cause, yeah. Tell me what happened.
Well, it was wonderful. A couple of us here in the DC area have been saying for years that we wanted to visit a couple things, the National Cathedral and an Orthodox church and a couple others, but we didn't, we never got it together to do so. And then we, because of Jonathan Demere's pilgrimage through town, we met Joy. And life suddenly expanded with possibilities. And we are so thrilled with her as the gift. It's like we got a new puppy and we're so excited to have her in our midst. And so as soon as we learned that she was Orthodox, that was, we want to go to your church. So several of us went this Sunday to the, I think there's a better name, but St. Nicholas, I guess it's the equivalent of the National Cathedral for Eastern Orthodoxy. Is that right, Joy?
Yes, primatial seat. So where the metropolitan resides, yes.
For one thing, the first thing is the physical beauty. The physical beauty is just so overwhelming that you spend a lot of time just kind of agog, both outside and inside. And then the way people stand and move was kind of fascinating. The fact that, I was a little concerned it might be staid, but the energy of people moving to light candles and moving to kiss the icons or just moving, period, there was an energy in the room. And particularly the piety. I was really struck by the piety. That was lovely to see. We went to the morning service, which is the English service, and that may have been a different experience from the later Russian service. I think the thing that affected me the most, though, was the music. The way the music was a constant. So there was so little talking, almost no talking, just this a cappella music. It just kind of was saturating. So that was a lovely gift. And coincidentally, it has blessed me because I belong to a couple of congregations, one of which is a New Thought Metaphysical Church that, as a budget cut, just had to give up its music director. And so suddenly I'm thinking, well, maybe we could sing a cappella. So I haven't told Joy that part yet, but that was a little gift. You made something difficult for me this week be easier by that.
Yeah, that's a great description of the way the music works in an Orthodox service, how it just saturates the space. It's almost like just jumping in a river, and just it kind of carries you along. And it's almost, I think it's by design. You know, you don't get a greeting when you walk in the door. You just get this like river of music that you then get to like just soak in. And you know, oftentimes the homilies are only 5 minutes long, so it's really just a lot of music, and I call it liturgical dance. But you may look into, oh my gosh, I would love it if you brought some chant into your metaphysical church, because the way Orthodox chant often works is you have this drone note, kind of like bagpipes. You know, you have like it's called an eson, and it's this just drone that the melody kind of dances on top of. And what's so cool, I freaking love chant because it's so participatory. Anyone can sing the drone note. You know, you get 5, and it actually gets easier the more people you have singing the drone note. And then you have, you know, one person singing the melody, and you kind of, it's like jazz where you trade off, and it's very improvisational. A lot of it's not actually written down. It's just you're riffing off of certain tones and melodic patterns that you apply to text. So it's really fun.
Careful, I might ask you to coach us.
Well, I'm definitely not qualified, but I will give you my opinion. And yeah, I'm definitely qualified. I'm just going to lean into it.
Jerry,
Go for it, Moses.
I thought your analogy of saturation was very fitting, especially because of, we look to, I believe it's either Psalm 140 or Psalm 141, where it says, "Let my prayers rise like incense in the air." Like, I've always compared Orthodox chants to auditory incense in that same regard.
I had that thought. Oral incense, yeah.
There's Father Turbo Qualls had an interview. Well, he was interviewed by Mono Elia of the Study of Stuff, also an Orthodox Christian. And Mono put it on the table as sonic iconography. So,
that's nice.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know what I'm hearing, and unfortunately I haven't been to very many liturgies, but there's a fundamental sound to creation. And that is the drone note, right? That's what the drone note is. It's that fundamental sound that runs through all of creation. And then humanity gets to subcreate with it, right? And like you said, it's like a dance. So they dance on top of this elemental sound. And there's a scene in The Castle by George MacDonald where all the people are dancing on this big ballroom floor. And they're not actually supposed to be in the room. They're doing a bad thing, so to speak. But they're dancing on this floor, and the floor is heaving of its own accord underneath of them. And they don't notice it because they're in this kind of ecstasy moment, right? Where they're actually celebrating themselves. So they're not dancing with the elemental sound, right? or that floor, right? that we're all standing on. And and then the other thing that always struck me each time I've gone to a liturgy, it became clearer and clearer, was that it's like a I don't even want to use the word snapshot because that's too constraining, but it's like a peek into the cosmos of human ecology. That's what it seems like to me, because you've got this elemental sound, you've got humans subcreating on top of it, you've got people coming in, kissing the icons, finding a seat. Like it's not linear in a liturgy, right? You're not just coming in and at the appropriate time everyone sits down and then the thing happens, the lecture begins, and then everybody gets up and then they sing a song. You know what I mean? It's constantly moving and changing. And then on top of it all, you have children making a lot of noise, which is kind of like the crowning glory of the whole thing. That's what I see when I see a liturgy happening. I see the cosmos. And then the whole thing is covered by the sky and the stars, right? It's a song to creation.
Yes,
Beautiful.
and at the very pinnacle of the cathedral is Christ the Pantocrator.
Yeah. Yeah. Blessing it all.
Yes.
Blessing it all.
You know why the painting of or the icon of Christ on the roof, you know why it's curved? It's because all the universe bends towards Christ. That's literally the reason why they do that.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I always said, like, people would ask me why I became Orthodox, and I'm like, I just went to the place where everything that I already knew was, right? Because I was living under the dome, and I've said this like ad nauseum, so I'll repeat it. But I just slid in, like, to a place where I wasn't all by myself realizing these things. I was with others, and we could realize it together, and we could celebrate it together, So to me, it's always been actually entering in to the story we are in, which is creation. That's just my experience.
Beautiful. Ron, I was just thinking about the ESON note, that drone note, and how you work with machinery, right? And one of my favorite things to do, I work with machinery as well. It's not for a living. Well, it is for a living. It's for my life, for my sanity. But I love to find the pitch of like a weed eater or a leaf blower or something like that, and use that as my drone note and riff on a sander. Oh yeah, a sander's great for that. I don't know if you're musical at all, but that's a way to bring.
So, what's funny is when I go walking out in the woods, which after my Mexican, that will be happening. There are certain trees in the woods. They're old dead trees, and what I'll do is I'll start pushing on them. And these are big trees. And if you are patient and you push on it the right rhythm, you can get this giant tree to sway. And what I'm trying to do is find that perfect. I want to push over a tree, basically, and it's finding nothing bad. I mean,
No.
well, no, not a living tree. They're dead. They're
Okay.
not. These are dead trees. But it goes back to that harmonic thing, and also back to Sherry, when you were talking about in the universe has a harmony to it. When I first came to Christ, when he pretty much said, "Hi, kid, it's me," and it really freaked me out. But what happened is that in the beginning stages, I actually, in the first moment he said hi, best I could describe it is I felt that. It was more like I felt every particle in the universe moving, and I had nothing to do with it. That he was in control he's like doing it with one hand tied behind his back, going, "Hey kid, yeah, it's me." And I was like freaked out by that. But then he showed up with his love, which was very cool. But then for the next for quite a long time after that, I lived in a presence of that, as the best I can describe is that harmony. And it was really, you ever hit a note on a piano and then another instrument in the, just sitting there will start resonating?
Yeah, sympathetic resonance.
Yeah. That's what I felt was happening to me, and I had no control over me, and it was freaking me out and also awesomely great. So, just saying.
That is such a cool story. When was this, Ron?
This was after, it was the summer of 1999, November 13th or 15th, about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And then that lasted for a couple years, and it still kicks in once in a while. It's like a flashback that you can be really happy about.
Yeah. Oh, that is, man. Ron, I gave you like a leaf blower, and you gave me the freaking cosmos.
It's the navel, dude. That's what you
It's
get.
the navel, man.
That's what you get.
I love this idea of tipping trees, like old. I mean, you're doing the world a service because that could fall down on somebody, and you're doing it. You're getting in the rhythm of. I mean, that's amazing. That is.
There's
just
no
incredible.
altruism here. I'm just being a bad kid behind, but on behalf of altruistically bad. So,
There's a song that years ago, I don't remember when it came out. I do remember that they ripped it for. I think it was like a theme song in that Twilight series, which really bummed me out when I found that out. I found the song before I knew that because I like the artist. And but it's called "To the Wonder." You might know it by Aqualung.
oh,
He says there's a song it's not Led Zeppelin. It's not the Aqualung album. It's the artist Aqualung. There's a song we sing, elemental sound, where it all begins. It can draw you in, drag you out, but it's hard to hear that distant voice. Oh, it would ring so clear if we could only tune out the noise. There's a song if you listen close. It will always be as it always was, as it always was, as it always was. Elemental sound running underneath it all. To the wonder, to the wonder. It's a really, really beautiful song if you want to listen to it. It's called To the Wonder by Aqualung.
See you, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
I'll have to check that one out.
You'll love it. I used to crank it as loud as I possibly could. And that's not as loud as my ears will take it. That's as loud as my speakers will take it. And then I would just spin and dance in my living room. I loved it.
I just want to say, hey, Grim, nice to see you out there. Thanks for chiming in. I don't know what Melkor's harmonica is, but if you want to jump on and explain it to us, please do.
Isn't Melkor from Silmarillion? And he's the guy that sings the dissonant notes.
Oh,
I don't know if that's
my God.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That book has been referenced so many times in conversations with people. It's time for me to just read it.
I find it best digested as an audiobook, especially if you got stuff to do in your life.
Ooh. I could actually do that. I could totally do that. Okay. Moses, you're shepherding me into a better life. So Go ahead.
I was going to ask, Terry, did you have anything else to open up for us?
Only that it was also lovely to have that experience in the company of a small group of friends. Made it a totally different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to experience the conviviality of your congregation in the church basement afterwards, this tiny cramped little church basement where you get your plates and you're careful not to drop the food on somebody's head because it's so tight. It was such a wonderful space. I just love church basements. So,
Kind of like the hobbits leaving the Shire, eh, Terry?
yeah.
Running into their first adventure, and they get to, yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Rigel, maybe we'll have to amend to the priest and tell him we need to get a basement in the new church.
Yes. Yeah, we're building. Well, we're in the process of raising money to build a temple, and it's nobody has basements in Texas, or at least in Austin. But
Yeah.
I feel like this would be worth it.
Some of
This
the
would be
older
worth it.
buildings do, like in Austin proper, but it's mostly because of all the limestone.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
went.
hard.
I went to a little church in Langley that was, I don't know. I mean, for Canadian standards, it was old, right? It was like 150 years old, and it was really tiny. It was an Antiochian church. I mean, it wasn't originally. It was probably a Baptist church or something, but it had this hall that belonged to it. That was like 5 times the size of the church. And the community of Langley used it a lot for other events because it was, and it's old. It's one of those churches that you walk, or buildings you walk into where the floor is really creaky, like an old hardware store or something, from the 1800s. And I went to a Pajot. Pajot did a day seminar for that congregation, for that parish, and they held it in there. And that was pretty good, Rigel. Like to have like the hall next door, because you kind of come out into the daylight and you walk over to the hall together, and some people are congregating outside, and
Yeah.
it's kind
That's
of
how ours is kind of set up now, and will be when we have the temple. It's like, it's kind of we have a pretty magical fellowship hour,
cool.
I must say, with
Okay.
children running around, and people hang out until like the sun goes down sometimes. I just had an interesting thought about this Melkor's harmonica again, and you had mentioned that it was the dissonant notes. And
I think
let's just, you know what? That's the beauty. Nobody Google it. Nobody. That's the rule. That's the rule. No Googling. We have to make it up. So, just kind of pulling that thread, I discovered something really lovely about the melodica, which is this little instrument right here. Right. I had kind of I think with the last little Christmas album that I made, I had kind of a breakthrough into imperfection in kind of my mixing technique and in tuning and stuff like that. And the melodica is what taught me about this. So the melodica can't be tuned, right? So it's this instrument it's a little piano. I mean, maybe you could hire somebody to tune it, but it just it won't stay in tune. It's not really designed to be in tune. But what I noticed is when I brought it into the mix, it created this kind of buffer for all the other instruments to kind of find a place, rather than having to be like perfectly in tune. Once you have things perfectly in tune, you can spend a ton of effort just getting things in tune, and it's like absurd. But once you get a melodica in there, it is so out of tune that it just kind of opened up these doors of possibility to include other instruments that are out of tune and just kind of like play with this imperfect tuning space, which just it was like this glue that brought all these different instruments together.
You know,
yeah,
there's a whole culture around that in Switzerland and parts of Germany. Around it's called Fasnacht, but it's Carnival. So it's a Carnival time. And then they have these bands called Gucka Musik. Gucka is like crazy music. Crazy. And it's all like, it's big bands with, you know, drummer. They march and they're all dressed up in crazy costumes. And they've got drums, they've got horns, they've got flutes, they've got, you know, anything a marching band would have, really. And it's all out of tune. And it sounds amazing. It's amazing. And they have competitions.
No way.
I think I've seen what you're talking about. Like, I think I've seen one of them marching around with a bunch of geese.
Geese?
Yeah, like the band is exactly how you described it, except they were like parading around a bunch of geese through the town. It was really,
I don't know that tradition, but yeah, it's really cool because they have one of the nights of Fasnacht, because I think it goes for like 4 days, is the Gucka Musik competition, and so they have bands from all over that come together and play, and you know, somebody wins the prize, right? That's pretty good. Pretty crazy. Yeah. And people are playing through sometimes masks that are like 8 feet tall and the heads are up here and their faces are actually down here, you know? Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it.
Wow. Joy, were you about to say something? I couldn't tell.
Well, with the Isan you mentioned, Nigel, and the right, they're particularly with the sympathetic resonance. I struggle with multiple different physiological ailments, and balance has been a very important place for me day to day, ensuring that I'm cultivating a way of being that is as balanced as can be. And homeostasis, right? The sort of center point biologically, physiologically, within which certain markers lie, I would describe as a place where this blessed is the Lord God forever, now and ever, and unto the ages of ages, you know. And all of the melodies sort of spiral and interpolate through and around this homeostatic spine. And for me, that has been absolutely remedial. Being able to not only imbibe it liturgically and partake liturgically by allowing it to descend towards the eye of my heart, but by opening my mouth to join myself to this activity. And
I forgot to say that the best part of the music was having Joy behind me singing. She was so gorgeous. I need Joy singing in my life.
Lovely. Keep saying, Joy.
Yeah.
That's kind of a profound little statement there, Terry. I need Joy singing in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And so for me, by many Saturday nights before consuming the body and blood, the Eucharist, I have a very difficult time sleeping, and perhaps that's a feature of the gravity this bloodlust, this bloodthirst to drink from a fountain of immortality. It's, for me, every night beforehand, it's as if the world opens its amulet. The way the world moves opens it. Before me, it's entering through this portal, and it's daily, really, right? It's not exclusive, but I have difficulty sleeping. But as soon as I arise that morning, I was telling Terry and Michelle and Ron and Jonathan, I don't know where the strength to approach the chalice descends from, but I'm graced with it. And by the time I approach the chalice and the service is over, I realize that I have been inspined.
Aligned. Like it's this spiritual, physiological harmony, right? That has been facilitated by the matrix of hymnography, the matrix of architecture and iconography and communion. And it's so restorative with me that, and Terry may have noticed, there was a glow, like a quality of baptism and freshness to my composure and my visage, my face. And I take that home with me, actually, throughout the course of the week. And by God's grace, it informs my vision for the rest of the week. And it's available and accessible to us all. So that's
beautiful. When you're talking about inspining, it makes me think of this thing that it's kind of like the organic agreement landing path to find an ESON note. It's almost like the melody goes out from the ESON to gather. It's like it goes and gathers all the other notes and brings it back to the ESON and then goes out and brings it back. And you always know where the ESON is by like what tone we're in, like ba da 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 da, and that's when you can kind of like get on the ESON note. And if you miss it that time, you can get on again at the next go around, which is going to happen like 1,000 times. So it's like this merry-go-round that you can hop on and off of through repetition.
So what I'm thinking about right now, because some of my deepest spiritual lessons were learned training horses, because horse and rider are just like incredible. Like, it's not, it isn't surprising that it's horses that bring Christ at the second coming. Okay. But I went to a clinic once for a thing called guided riding, and this woman developed it, and it's actually really interesting because it's very simple, but the difficulty that arises for people is that they can't let go. It's a letting go of something, and mostly they can't let go. And it's completely imbrued, or is that a word? Like it's thoroughly integrated into a trust economy. Okay. So you have to imagine that you're like a marionette and you have a string on the top of your head. Mm-hmm. And someone pulls up on the string and all your limbs just dangle, right? So you're perfectly straight. And so that's how you sit on your horse. You imagine yourself like you got your legs spread open, and you imagine yourself as just a little marionette. Okay? And the horse has no bridle and no saddle. You're bareback. And then you're in a riding arena, in case the horse decides that you're, it's not working, and then you're in trouble. You're in a riding arena, and then you find a fence post and you look at it. And as soon as you look at it and want to go towards it, the horse starts walking straight for the fence post. It's insane. And then while the horse is walking towards the fence post, you turn your head and look at the one across from you, and the horse turns
No.
and walks over to that fence post. And you can go anywhere you want with this animal, okay? And all you're doing is aligning your center of gravity to the horse's center of gravity.
Sherry,
It's
over
insane.
the past few months, my family were runners, like my mother's children. My younger sister is a long distance runner. I grew up running, and there was this instance several months ago when all of a sudden the motif, the vision that continued to reappear in my conscious awareness was this desire to be on a horseback and gallop through like the wind. And a few weeks ago, I called my younger sister, who's an athlete, who's a runner, who understands the sort of perhaps the power and the grace that the movement of running through space, the sort of grace that it invites, actually. And I told her, Lois, for some reason, I've been wanting to become friends with horses. Like, I want to run with the horse. And over the past few months, it's been the same vision appearing to me of being on a horseback. And I looked into it spontaneously, equine therapy, a few days back.
It's freaking amazing, Joy.
I have to befriend a horse. I have to know. I have to build that relationship.
Are you done? Oh,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you really quick. My daughter worked at an anthroposophic home. It's a big one. I never remember the name of the woman, but she worked with Rudolf Steiner to produce Weleda products. And if you're not sure what Weleda is, WELEDA, it's a homeopathic line of toothpaste and shampoo and skincare and all that kind of thing. So it's an old established place, and she's long gone, but they have a home for handicapped kids there. And my daughter worked as an apprentice in the equine therapy program. So this is all anthroposophic, Rudolf Steiner stuff, okay? And she was just like, she called me one day, it was like a month into her program, and she called me, she's like, Mom, this is incredible. They've got these kids that are completely spastic, right? They're just like this in a wheelchair, and they roll them up to a horse, and they stretch their arms out, and they touch the child's hand to the skin of the horse, and immediately they unfold. Wow. And they relax, and they act like a normal human being, and they touch the animal all over. And then they put them on the horse, and the child takes the reins, and they sit there like a completely normal human being with no handicap whatsoever. And they walk them around the ring, and then they take them off the horse, and they put them in the wheelchair, and they go like this.
Wow.
And they take them back in.
Wow.
It's magic. Mm-hmm. And horses are used for I was reading about this executive retreat where one of the tasks was, you'd have a CEO of Google, okay? Guy that's got his poop in a pile, right? And he has to go over to a horse that's tied up and pick up its feet. And the horse won't give them their feet unless they earn it. And they have to earn it by coming into alignment. It's all about alignment with horses. And so you'll see these guys, who can control like empires, okay? And they can't make a horse pick up its feet until they change their spirit. Their whole spirit has to change. Anyway, sorry, Joy, I interrupted you, but I just wanted to say that because it's so powerful. Like, I know this, like, after I did that guided riding thing, I had 6 horses, all my own, and I broke all of them, and they were all fantastic. And but I never let go of the reins. I always had control of them. And after that, I hardly used my reins anymore. I didn't use my legs. I didn't kick them. I never kicked them to begin with because I always thought that was a little primitive. But, I didn't have to do any of that. I just had to look where I wanted to go. It was just amazing. Yeah.
Makes me think of the Tom Waits line in Come Up to the House. Well, you know you should surrender, but you can't let go. Come on up to the house.
Nice.
There's I forget which tribe it was, because this was something that was spoken to me in my youth, but that very much reminded me of the Native American parable I heard called "Those who will seek the arrow shall never find it," in reference to, like, if you miss, then you got to go catch your arrow after missing a deer or something, and almost I would compare that to like if you're seeking God, but not necessarily for the right reasons, whether you mean to or not. And same thing with, as Sherry was saying, with getting on that horse, like, where if you're trying, I guess, for best way to word it, to conquer the horse is going to be like, yeah, right. It's not until you kind of sync up with the appropriate attitude and the appropriate goals in order to be able to master that horse without having to kind of physically dominate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Bill.
I just had this this flash of, if you're familiar with Avatar, one of the first films to use sort of CGI, really good. When the Avatar takes this extremity and it has these nodules, these wisp nodules within it, and takes the concordant extremity of this horse creature, right?
Yeah.
And puts it like so, and they fuse.
Yeah.
and
That was not lost on me when I watched Avatar. I was like, that's in order to, I mean, you can dominate a horse, you can brutalize a horse, and you can make it afraid, and you can ride it, but eventually it'll kill you. Eventually, and I don't mean it'll purposely kill you, but it will kill you because it's a powerful animal and it doesn't trust you. And something will happen that will, not be good. But like, I've got 2 horses left out here. One is 31 and one is 20, Merlin. And he's a massive, huge Percheron. And I called them in because the farrier came to do their feet, and they come running, And I haltered up Snowflake first because she's the easiest one to do, right, for my farrier. She's tiny. And Merlin's like, oh, he took a look. He scanned the situation. He said, oh, God, he's here. Great. And then he's like, I'm out of here. And they were in a big, 5-acre field, right? And so I've got Snowflake, and I see him turning to leave. And I know that's going to be disturbing to her, and she's not going to settle if he leaves. So I look at him and I go, Merlin, and he turns around and looks at me. And I said, please don't leave, okay? She needs you here. And then he turns back to the open field, and then he looks back at me, and I said, come on. And then he turns to the open field, and then I said, Merlin, just stay here, okay? And so then he walks up and he stood right beside her the whole time. The whole time. Nose, nostril to nostril. And my farrier was like, good God, look at how he cares for her. Because she's very feeble and old, right? And I said, yeah, well, I told him to. I told him he can't leave. Because if he leaves, she'll get, unsettled. And it won't be good. And then when the farrier would pick up her feet, we'd have to do it really, really slowly. Because she's like 110, right? Really, really, really slowly. And then, she'd have to get her balanced, right? She's like a little old lady. And Merlin immediately would, go to support her, put his head underneath her neck, Like, we so underestimate these creatures, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but that sort of the intelligence, the true intelligence that animates them, I just looked it up. It's when a dire horse is the name of this animal in this universe. And when Jake first is learning how to ride it, that's one of the main, the two become one, right? One flesh. They are enfleshed. And that is when that union for me as a child was always so nuptial, so sexual, so celestial, right? And I couldn't quite put words to it as a young girl, but it's as if I'm coming into that knowledge now.
Yeah, because it's all around you, Joy. It's like I say to people, the reason you think animals can't talk is you don't listen. And when you don't listen, they stop talking to you. They just do. Why bother talking to somebody who never listens?
I believe that something like that was similarly said in, I don't know if it was in the books. I haven't read them in forever. I can't remember. But in the second Narnia movie, when the youngest girl of the protagonist goes to try and talk to a bear, thinking like, oh, you'll remember that we were queen and stuff, and the bear starts charging her, and they had to put it down, and the dwarf they were with had to communicate to them, like, if you start treating someone like an animal, they'll eventually start acting like it.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. We're on to my favorite subject, so I better just zip it up because I'm.
I was curious about something Moses said, you're kind of relating it to the horse story, like when you, what did you say? You said when you come to God for the wrong reasons, or when you, what was that? And I just wanted to hear more about what you meant by that.
Well, what I meant by that is, I can't speak for others, but I can certainly speak for myself. Where because I think Rigel knows this, but I don't believe you guys would know. I came from an atheist background for like probably about 11 or 12 years of my life. A lot of that being in my youth, and when I did eventually find orthodoxy and decided to point myself towards it and to join the church, not all of my reasons were necessarily sound or good, such as, oh, this is a good community. It's like, well, if it wasn't a good community and it was still the spiritual truth, would I still have arrived to it? So kind of in that way where it's like, oh, there's other benefits to this. There's blessings to this. But I'm looking at the blessings so much that I'm not looking at like why I should truly be here. And I imagine others have probably had that same internal experience as well, coming to the truth.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to tell
when
that's happening.
Yeah, like looking at the fruit, see the branch, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's that Shakespearean line? All that glitters is not gold.
Smash
Yeah.
Mouth. Joy, I wanted to bounce off of something you said about 3 subjects ago, but I wanted to be able to say it to you. I wanted to ask all of you, because I don't know if I think Raju, you've been to a monastery before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have any of you had the experience to be able to go to a monastery or no?
I haven't. No.
So I don't know if every monastery does, but the one I visited a few times does this, where their giant chandelier that they'll have. It's usually not just like the one that we have. It's like just one with like the electric candles. They can just turn on and off with a switch, but they use actual candles. And during the service, they have a guy with a really long stick and another candle on the end, and he lights all the candles, and then they spin them. Yes, and that's supposed to be, every flame is supposed to be the saints, and they're all in unison, in sync with God in heaven.
In circular time.
Yes. And I always thought that was a very intense symbolic. I remember seeing them doing that, and I'm like, I wonder why they do that. Like, is it just to make everything smell like beeswax by the end of the no, they do it because it's supposed to represent the saints. And then as well, Rigel, if you know Joshua Lynch from our church, he also had said I forget which saint had said it, but one of the saints had said the saints are supposed to replace the angels who had fallen. So that gives like an even heavier meaning to like them being in sync in heaven, at least in my observation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. You know, Bulgakov believes that angels are our future selves. So just tie that all in.
Yeah.
Tie that all in.
Oh my gosh.
Don't go too far. Just skim. Just skim. Don't go too down the rabbit hole.
I have a little something to share.
Yay.
Before we, sign off. Okay,
Go
so as some of you know, I am into metalworking.
Yay.
And I've been working on another little metal sculpture.
Ooh. Oh, look at that.
And
Yes. There's an armadillo.
it's an art. You got it. Oh, I'm so glad to just confirm that actually looks like an armadillo.
Totally
Is it a wall hanger?
Huh?
Is it like one that you would hang on the wall, or?
Yeah, so you could hang it. You could hang it. I haven't built the hanger yet, but I've put that right here. You could hang it on the wall. My vision for these. So this is like this shape, this kind of almond Venn diagram shape. It's called a mandorla, and I'm super into mandorlas. It's in iconography. Usually wherever Christ is, there's a mandorla behind him, and I think it represents many things, but one of them is kind of like the coming together, like the paradox of opposites, of heaven and earth coming together at the same time. That kind of superimposition. So I'm super into mandorlas because I'm into opposites, and that's how I express it. But all this is just from scrap metal that I've found. I think these little pieces are maybe from a bed frame, and as I was bending it, I heat the metal up and bend it. It would start to kind of buckle. See that kind of like that, but it buckled in ways that weren't aesthetically pleasing.
Or desirable.
Or desirable. But I just followed the buckling, and this is often how I come up with my designs. Is I just follow the flaw.
Right, Joel.
Yeah.
That's anatomically correct.
Yeah. This is true. This is where the cosmic navel. Yes, that is. I just want to savor that. Yeah. So I know when I first looked at this, I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna think I'm so weird. But
Guys, it's a bed frame, I swear.
yeah. So oftentimes what I'll do with this metal art process is kind of follow the flaw in whatever I'm doing and kind of incorporate it and use it as like an inspiration to kind of figure out where I'm going to go. And it's just kind of like pulling a thread a little bit. And this, some might call this a cactus, but others might call it the cosmos. Okay. So this is like an armadillo that is jumping over the cosmos, you know, and,
I thought it was a cosmic egg.
Yeah, it's the cosmic egg. Sure, yeah.
That's been pierced.
That's been pierced, yes, with stars, which you are all.
Oh, there you go.
And then this is my dragonfly up here, kind of
Topping it
down,
all off.
Topping it all off. It's kind of like a dragonfly.
Dragonfly is amazing.
And the way that I'm really into dragonflies right now, particularly making one out of these masonry nails. They're like little kind of triangle nails. And someone's in the, oh gosh, very Texas. Nice to see you, Christian. Are there mandorlas in your thumbnails?
Not yet, but thanks for the suggestion.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so the dragonfly is made out of these masonry nails, which was the first thing I ever learned how to weld. That's kind of how they teach you, is to butt up two masonry nails together and weld them together. Then I was like, oh, this kind of looks like a dragonfly, but it's not actually an accurate dragonfly, but it's kind of like in between a dragonfly and a star. So that's kind of my synthesis. That's my mandorla.
That would be such a great icon for a saloon, a Southwest saloon called the Cactus Cosmos.
Oh, really? That's perfect.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to respond to Grim. Grim Grizz, I am more than just a mason with masonry nails. I actually also made an enormous hole in the stone wall in the front of our house to access some plumbing issues, and then repaired it. So I'm full mason. Okay. I'm like practically 9th degree mason.
I remember you telling the story.
What are you saying?
I remember
Job. Oh gosh, I keep interrupting you because I keep getting these like great little comments.
Yeah.
Skankenstein says Job hugged the cosmic cactus. Amen. A freaking man. Okay, Joy, now it's actually your turn.
You told the story of getting a stop sign.
Sorry, say that again?
You were getting a stop sign, right? Like with your child.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
This is months ago. But I said this on stream when I had gone on for Lives of the Saints with Sherry and Jeremy days ago. And I likewise have a fascination with the shape, the form of mandorla. And I wrote this several months ago, but it goes something like, all things search for fire, all things, the quest for fire, all things search for a return, all things trill for a return, all things ululate from and toward the between, slipping out from the mandorla, an elliptical gaping opening, sliding through the crevice, gnashing and unfurling through the concrete, frothy, foaming from the unknown toward the high place, heaving, pounding, and pressing toward the light of true light. Let my people go, all things search for fire. Dust rising, feet knocking, heaving, pounding, and pressing towards the excavation of knots. towards the release into the bridal chamber. All things pray for release into my members. Take and eat, this is my seed. Take and eat, this is immortality. Take and eat, pools of my crimson red vitality pouring towards the crashing currents. Lord, your own of your own, receive your own of your own. I search for fire. For all things, search for fire. I search for return. For all things, search for return. All things.
Wait, did you write that?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that is incredible. And the all things, that's the Isan. Oh my gosh. That's the Isan.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh joy. That was so good.
Is it time to sing the ode to joy? La 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 la
Christian says I look like a hobbit next to Rigel.
You look like a hobbit.
This is one of the wild things about meeting in person at when we met at Midwestuary is like everyone looks the same size on screen, but turns out old Raj is a giant, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've heard someone say vanilla gorilla, like refer to you as in the comments. I don't know who about that, but it's been floating around. But
Well, Dan says it in the comments. Rigel is my bro, the vanilla gorilla.
oh, Dan, that was Dan.
Yeah.
That was Dan.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
yeah. Thanks, Dan. Let's get that.
Guilty as charged.
I need to just get that on screen so we can kind of savor and document that. Wow.
Okay, I'm going to read a little Goethe thing.
Please do, because we got to bring this mystical
land
cosmic
thing.
navel into back to the earth, because I have to go pick up my child from school.
Okay, so this is a poem. One of the most powerful poems about how this longing transfigures life is by Goethe and is called Blessed Longing. Tell no one else, only the wise, for the crowd will sneer at one. I wish to praise what is fully alive, what longs to flame toward death. When the calm enfolds the love nights that created you, where you have created a feeling from the unknown steals over you while the tranquil candle burns. You remain no longer caught in the penumbral gloom. You are stirred and new. You desire to soar to higher creativity. No distance makes you ambivalent. You come on wings enchanted in such hunger for light. You become the butterfly burnt to nothing. So long as you have not lived this, to die is to become new. You remain a gloomy guest on the dark earth. That's Goethe.
That's beautiful.
We all need to hear Goethe.
Yeah.
More Goethe.
More Goethe. Not goeth. Goethe.
Not Goethe, no. Or Goethe.
Goethe, yeah.
Goethe.
Well, that was lovely, Sherry. Any by the way, Sherry, if you ever want to invite your sister Tracy on, please. I was hoping that you would drag her along sometime.
Did you get to the part where she talked about her monkey, her gibbon puppet? She has this gibbon puppet named Penelope Pennyworth.
Okay.
Who is she finds out from Penelope that she was employed at Oxford. And Penelope has this very high English accent. Oh, lovely. I was employed at Oxford, kind of thing. And, but then she finds out, she asks her, well, what were you doing there? Oh, I worked in the sciences, pharmaceutical and things like. What were you teaching? Oh, no. And anyway, with further inquiry, she realized she was a lab monkey, eh? So, and she's kind of lost her marbles from all the experimentation. So if Tracy asks her anything too difficult, she just passes out you know, and she comes to. But you got to watch that part. She doesn't have a puppet in it, but she talks about this bit she did with where they had a where they tested Viagra.
Yes, I think that's the part I just got to. Yeah, I was a
Oh my God.
test subject for Viagra. Yeah.
It was an uproarious time in the laboratory.
Oh
must
my.
have been amazing.
All right. Anyone else have any final thoughts, reflections, blessings?
I just want to say it was really great to meet you, Moses. To meet someone who's, you know, worshiping with Rigel, not worshiping Rigel, but worshiping with him.
Nice to talk to you.
And making music together. I think there's a real connection, like the one that Joy was talking about, where the, you know, you plug into each other. I just know that as a musician myself, you get into a groove where you just feel like you're so connected.
So good. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
Oh.
And Terry, of course. I was really happy to hear your impressions of being in an Orthodox church.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be here. Oops.
All
It
right.
was cool to be with Terry the entire time. Her attention was so. It was this devotion that poured forth from her, and it was a blessing to be able to witness that. And during the Beatitudes, and what I believe it's during the end of her book, you quote the Beatitude, right? And yes.
And I don't remember it exactly now, but I was delighted that you caught the fact, and it was something to do with the fact that blessed are the meek. There's another whole way to look at that has to do with universal intelligence. So for another day, but thank you.
I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Joy, have you been on other people? You've been on other people's streams, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This is Moses broke the fourth wall. That's what it's called, Moses, when you come in from the lurk, is what they say in this little corner of the internet. So I am honored that you came on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. All right, you all. Blessings.
Thanks, Rigel.
Lovely to be here. Thank you, Rigel.
May the Isan, thank you, Joy. May the Isan sympathetically resonate with your spine.
Check out To the Wonder by Aqualung.
Okay, I shall do that. All right,
Bye,
hopefully see y'all next week.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.